Welcome to the Reinvented Life with Pamela Chanel David. Do you want to step up your game? Pursue your dreams. Be the best version of yourself. The Reinvented Life is here to help. The Reinvented Life is about courage. It's about staying relevant. It takes grit. It defies gravity. It's about taking inventory of where you are today and where you want to go. Embrace change. Make things possible and reinvent your life. Call in with questions at 888-994-4995. Now, it's time to reinvent your life with Pamela Chanel.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone is having a great week. Welcome to the Reinvented Life. Always such a pleasure to be here and really talk about in a very candid conversation today what it takes to reinvent, what it takes to make changes in your life and keep them, and how to make them sustainable. So the conversation today is all about that. The conversation today is, are you happy where you are in your life? Because our joy, our happiness, where we are in our life depends on where we've come from, but more importantly, where we're going and how we're getting there. I'm absolutely thrilled to have Dawn and Freddy, hosts of the Brooklyn Cafe, on with me today for this candid conversation and talk about really those tidbits, how we can get there, and how we coach on a daily basis, really, to help get people where they want to be. So welcome, Dawn and Freddy. Thank you for having me. And
thank you for having me.
Being on the Reinvented Life show today.
Thank you for having us.
Us, yes. How are you?
Yeah. I'm great. You know, I'm in California and spent a week ago time in Florida. And I got to tell you, it was so wonderful being there and taking all of the energy when I was there with you back here to California. We've had a lot of rain this week. We fortunately had a couple of nice days now, but we are just getting hit by rain and weather like you can't believe. So I miss that Florida constant sunshine.
Well, we miss you. You're always welcome back.
I will be back soon and excited to really create something coast to coast.
You know, it's funny that we had that little conversation briefly before you started, because all afternoon we've been talking to a guest in the studio that you only have one life to live and you need to choose to be happy. Right? This is your chance to be happy at life, and that's what you've done. And what I'd like, and I know Freddie, share with everyone how you did it, because we've talked a lot about products, and you can consume nutritional products but go out and have a Big Mac and an apple pie, and you're not going to be where you are in your journey. So maybe you can talk a little bit towards that.
Yeah, you know, the Reinvented Life, as many people know, really started with my own journey. Really started with me needing to save my life. I had abandoned my health. I was in horrific shape. My doctor said that if I didn't shift stuff up, I may be here a year. I may have had a year to live. And so what's happened is that notion put me in a position of, I'm just going to change it all up. And change is very scary to people. And so that is what excites me about being here and having this conversation, is not only have I addressed my health and on a continued journey to create the best physical health possible, but how to make this journey fun and how to take something that seemed very oppressive and breathe life into it. And now on a daily basis, I'm excited about life. I'm excited about bringing joy and sharing that with others. What I did was I just started looking at what I needed to do to turn that around. And there's many, many things involved with changing your physical health. There's emotional aspect of it. There's a mental aspect of it. I've embraced a spiritual aspect to it. So it's not only about one thing. It's about a group of things together. And that I can't emphasize enough to people. It's taking your health into your own hands in every aspect of your life.
It's
How I
interesting.
started,
Yeah.
how I started was not where I am today.
Do you think, and I've been talking to Freddie a lot about this, because when you were talking to him a couple weeks ago about health and the journey, he's really committed to really following the example that you've set for him, because you've made a huge impact when you guys were both here. And he said, if I knew it was this easy, I would have done it years ago. And I said to him, but it's not the products help. But it has to be mindset. You have to be ready and committed to make that change. What do you think?
Well, the listeners and the viewers, if you followed this story here at the Reinvented Life, you'll know that for a long time there was a concentration on weight loss. I had gained so much weight and abandoned anything healthy for myself that I've already lost 170 pounds on this journey. But the key to it is, and when it really shifted, is when I changed from the mindset that it wasn't about weight loss. When you think of losing anything, it's unwanted, it's unnecessary, it doesn't bring up good thoughts, it doesn't feel good, it's sort of a negative arena or a pool to swim in. So the key is, and what I can't emphasize to people enough, is when you make the shift of what you have to do, things you have to get rid of, or things you shouldn't be eating, all the shoulds and the couldn'ts and all of that, what you find is that you can actually bring joy to the process, because you convert it to what you can do for yourself to treat yourself in a better way. And that is the key of what has made this actually fun to embrace. When I moved from weight loss to what I can do to serve myself better, how I can become healthier, what are the things that I actually am privileged and here and able to do, it was the game changer. And that's the energy that I think a lot of people feel, and Freddie, probably you felt, is it's not an easy journey, but it's easy when you're rewarding yourself, if that makes sense.
I think the most important aspect is you enjoy the things that you are doing because you've taken the time out to take care of your health, to lose the weight, to get the fog out, to get the focus in. I think that 4 weeks ago, I decided to go on a different journey. And I decided that I was going to listen to me for a change, and because I have confidence in my ability, and I count. And I dropped my sugar from diabetic status to undiabetic status in 4 weeks because I found out that I am carb intolerant. Not that I can eat a carb, I just can't even breathe a carb because it turns my spike levels up. And meeting people like you in this show just encourages me that I made the right choice because I'm looking to be able to do the things that I love to do. In this house, what I do here, and you were here, is what I love to do. Film work, being surrounded by the producers, having Dawn doing the things that she does. This is what I live to do for, and if I want to enjoy these things, I got to make these moves. Just like you discovered when they gave you a short time to live, you got your life back. Always loved the word reinvented life. I think it is the most dynamic tool in your arsenal because you have been given another chance, a second chance at getting it right, and you're doing that.
Look at her smile.
But look, she's
You're
doing it.
You're lighting me up right now with your smile. Oh my gosh.
Well, again, it's about being able to do things that you love, whether it's one's work, as you're describing. I mean, the energy is absolutely contagious in your studios. I mean, I felt it from the moment I pulled in. And it's being able to do that for yourself. One of the first things, just to be very candid with people, that I had to figure out is that making myself stronger physically and emotionally, and as I mentioned, even spiritually, was okay. I had somewhere a limiting belief that paying attention to myself was being selfish. And in actuality, the stronger I show up, the healthier I show up, I'm that much better for the community and family and friends and people around me. So the first notion that I got rid of was it's not selfish. And I love, Freddie, hearing you say how much it's so apparent that you love your work. And when you start to embrace yourself and realize there's not a separation between you and your work, you are your work. It is your body, and there's like a mind-body connection that I totally didn't understand for a long time. But once I got that it is embracing life is you, and you're happier doing it, then treating yourself kinder, eating more nutritious things, as we've been talking about the last few weeks, taking care of our gut health, moving, exercises, doing things that contribute to make you feel strong. It is all about that vitality. And so that vitality helps you just to feel better.
And I know that when she came here, I was so caught up in the moment that I wanted to do something in San Francisco. I sent you some call letters and stuff because I like to open up AMP out west. And the reason is that it's hard to explain to people unless you're here. But if you were here this week, people that have come in here and they're going to be doing business in here, they will tell you exactly what you felt when you were here. It's the right path. And I want to take this out west. I think that you show exactly what we're all about. It's a great example about what it's all about. I think that to get it right, you have to start with yourself. After you start with yourself, then those that you bring in that have something to say as well will make it light up. I mean, it's just a great feeling just thinking about it. And I can hardly wait till we go out west and we start doing production from out west, because I think it's about time. It's about the right timing of doing it and doing it now. And that all goes into the feel of how we're feeling and the goodness that comes with it.
It's so true. When I coach people, when I listen to people and things that they want to shift in their life, it's all about being really relevant. So what you're saying is so true. In San Francisco and in the Bay Area, it's such a hub for innovation. I love the word reinvent because the core of it is invent. And that's what you've done there in Florida. And that's what we're going to be doing here on the West Coast, is really inventing a space that offers people an opportunity to make their life happier, more joyous, a place that they can communicate, that they can come together, and that community space will afford them all of that. And support each other in whatever journeys that they want to be in. Because the innovation in the San Francisco Bay Area is second to none.
Do you think there's an aha moment? I don't want to say trigger because that's a negative thought. There's an aha moment in people's lives where they say, I need to do this for me, whether it be weight loss, change of career, shift in mindset, as opposed to the outside forces saying, you should do this, you can't do this, don't do this.
You can't motivate anyone that isn't motivated to do it. So really that aha moment does come from an inner place with someone that says, I may not know how to get there. I may not know how, as you mentioned, to shift that career or to make these health changes or where to start. So much of it is where to start. And the key to that aha moment comes in the realization that just take the first step. Just take the first small step to do anything you want to do in the direction you want to take it. People are nervous and scared about making change. But if you take the first step, if you realize that you're going to be a happier, more uplifted, empowered person, that's when that aha moment happens, Dawn, and it's every single time. I know for myself that aha moment happened when I, as I mentioned, shifted from what I didn't want anymore, the dis-ease, the weight loss, all the negativity, to how can I treat myself better? How can I infuse more nutrients in my body? How can I clean myself of those toxins? How can I get out there and move and start swimming and start doing aqua aerobics and spinning on a bicycle and doing all of the things that previously I had deemed I couldn't do. So for everyone listening, it's about taking the first step and not being overwhelmed with the fact that you have to do everything at first. And there's days that people don't know how to start. That's when they come to us. We generally are able to help people in a pretty quick 60 to 90 day period, reinvent where they are, look at the relevancy of what's in their life, figure out what is serving them, figure out what's not serving them, and help them get on that path. For listeners and viewers, by the way, info@thereinventedlife.com is the way to get a hold of me, to get a hold of what we're doing, ask any questions. Thank you for putting it up there on the screen, because having someone to collaborate with, to bounce ideas off of, is invaluable and priceless to people.
Now, your journey
That is what I would include.
And what you're creating in San Francisco as a whole center. I tell Freddie all the time, I'm so proud of him for taking this journey because he chose to do it for him. It's not as if someone, if you're a child and your parent are giving it to you, or your spouse are saying, eat this, do this, you're going to feel better. He chose to do this for him, and I watch his day, and he makes his own breakfast shake, and he does what he does for lunch, and he makes sure he has a healthy dinner in the studio now, instead of saying it'll be okay, I'll eat at 10 o'clock. He's making those choices, but he's actually going out and he's doing it himself. And what it seems to me is you're taking on the onus of you, and you're doing it for you, and you let all that outside noise away. We had St. Patty's Day here, and he was good. He didn't drink anything. He didn't eat anything. But you took that ownership on it for you, and that's what Chanel's been doing.
Well, she's been doing it longer than I have.
Has she inspired you?
She has. She inspired me. That's why when you came down here, I told you, don't go back to San Francisco. And I gave you 6 feet of snow as an excuse not to go back. And you're going to get more snow, and you stay here. But, you know, the bottom line here is that you're a walking testament to exactly reinventing your life, looking for another chance to come back and do it right, and to be able to enjoy the things that you do. Enjoy your family. My son just called me and telling me, what do you mean you're going to Universal for your birthday this weekend?
He told me he wanted to hang out with you.
He wanted to hang out with me. I says, we'll hang out afterwards. He says, and you're going by yourself? I says, no, I'm going with Linda. And he says, just the two of you? Yes. But what is that all about? It's me taking me back, because I'm going to enter a birthday, and I'm going to do it my way for a change. I'm going to take care of no outside noise telling me what day to leave, when to come back, what not to eat. My feet hurt. I'm going to get into an argument. I'm putting that to the side. I'm done with that. I want to enjoy life. I want to enjoy the good things that I meet in life. I want to enjoy the people that I meet in life. And I got to tell you, this 4-week ride has been amazing. Simply amazing. And when you were in studio, you just lit me up because it told me that I was doing the right thing.
You know, I appreciate that so much. And Freddie, what I love hearing you say is that you're reclaiming your life. You know, part of reinventing is not necessarily having to change something, but it's going back to reclaiming who you more authentically are. You know, oftentimes people's life, I call it this domino effect. You know, one thing happens, the other, and you could just picture this strip of dominoes hitting one end and it falls. And so where we have ended up being has not necessarily been a bad thing. It has maybe served us well for a long time. But what I'm hearing you say is you're reclaiming your life back. You are creating new thoughts that now, and there's 5 transitional steps that take place to transform anyone's life in any aspect. And the first is that new thought. So this month, and it's interesting that you say a month because it's always 21 days plus or minus of the new actions that come with a new thought. In 3 or 4 weeks, it starts to do what? It starts to create a new habit. So what you are claiming and reclaiming is what's important to your life. Things may have been fine for a long time, but now something new has come up for you. And now it's learning to embrace that so it is sustainable. The hardest thing for people is the, turnstile, if you will, of starting and stopping and starting and stopping. And what the reinvented life is a safe place that you can learn to do it sustainably. It becomes a habit that then becomes a routine, that then becomes a lifestyle. And before you know it, you've created a new way of being. And that's what this is about. Your energy level will start to go through the roof when you are aligned with who you more authentically are. It's an amazing process. And I love watching it each and every time. Every single time.
Now, your center, Chanel, it's not going to just be about weight loss. It's about reclaiming your life.
It is about exactly that. Reclaiming your life, reinventing your life. I am so excited that the cornerstone of it really will be the studio because that is the voice. It is people using their voice and getting behind what they have conviction about that will be at the centerpiece. Because to reinvent one's life, you want to get closer to what do you really believe and get rid of what maybe those disbeliefs that you thought you couldn't do could actually be the key to help. So the center is going to be all about reinventing, reestablishing, reclaiming different services. We'll have physical and nutritional aspect of it, but we're going to have a lot of other interesting things that people can participate in their life with.
I have to ask you, though, in your last few minutes, you said there's 5 steps. Can you just, I don't want to go through all of them because that's good topics for the rest of your shows. Can you just list them and what they are?
Yes, so it is the first step is having a new thought, reclaiming a new thought. The one we use as the example is instead of keying in on, I want to lose this weight, is how can I serve myself better? So you have a new thought that has correlative actions to it. And the second step then is in 21 days, plus or minus 3-4 weeks, consistently doing it day after day, it will become a habit. Those habits then form the third step, which are routines. Routines are collections of habits. The fourth step is to create a lifestyle. And when you think about a lifestyle, it is basically a collection of routines. And the fifth step is that lifestyle over time becomes who you are, who you've become. And the key to this is that at any moment you can shift this. People often get very limited in what they're able to create with their life because they adopt the adage, I am who I am. This is who I am. And when one realizes that they don't have to deconstruct all of that, they can simply add something in or make a shift or do something new by creating that new thought, and then they're back to step one. So it actually becomes a very fluid, easy process, but the beauty of it is you can keep what you want to keep of it and shift what you want to shift from it.
Does it resonate with you?
It gives you choice. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's no right way. There's no wrong way. There's the only way. But what I like about it is that you have choice. You get to pick. I want to do some production out of the studio. I want to invite people, even children's book. You know, I got to tell you, children in this country have weight problem issues. And you're not going to clean up a lot of the problems that we have going on. We talked about that on our show today because we're sending out the wrong message. It's okay to weigh 400 pounds when you're a 7-year-old. That doesn't translate correctly anymore. And we're going to have to start making some real tough choices for ourselves, for our families, for our loved ones, just so we can get back on track to doing things correctly. So I look forward to doing something out west. I think it's a vital piece of what we're going to be administrating and trying to get. There's another piece that we're working on at the same time so we can sort of capture the United States. It's going to be fun.
It's been such an honor. Thank you so much for having us join you on your show.
Oh, thank you so much for being here. I've loved it. I love the Reinvented Life because we want to switch it up all the time and make people realize that all is possible. I really encourage people to ask questions, send an email, get right back to them, and be able to make the changes in their life they want to make, sometimes with just some coaching and guidance. What I love is the process is fast. And that is, I think, key today because things move along at a quick pace.
True.
True that.
Well, such a pleasure to have you here in Florida. I can't wait to see you again. Maybe we'll have to fly out to you next time.
Yes, we will create great studios here to be together in.
Have a beautiful weekend. We love you.
Love you both and have a beautiful, beautiful weekend yourselves. Thank you to our listeners. Thank you to our viewers. The Reinvented Life is a place that everyone can feel comfortable, that everyone can make changes, and contact us. We're here to help. Have a great weekend.
Thank you for tuning in to The Reinvented Life with Pamela Chanel David. Tune in each week so we can work and grow together to become the best version of ourselves. Keep striving, keep dreaming, keep working, and embrace change. You may contact Pamela Chanel at info@thereinventedlife.com.